Liam Neeson, a man whose very presence on screen is synonymous with strength and resolve, has lived a life marked by both triumph and profound tragedy. Born on June 7, 1952, in Ballymena, Northern Ireland, Neeson's early years were shaped by hardship. Growing up in a working-class family with three sisters, Neeson experienced a childhood overshadowed by poverty and the tensions of Northern Ireland's religious conflicts. His father, Barney, worked tirelessly as a school janitor, and his mother, Kitty, cooked for others, both striving to make ends meet. Despite the lack of financial resources, Neeson was surrounded by love, yet his world was a quiet one where the sound of survival was the only music. A journey of silence and struggle. Neeson's early years in Ballymena were marked by solitude and internal struggle. He rarely spoke, preferring to observe the world around him from the sidelines. His father, fearing that silence might consume his son, sent him to a local boxing club at the age of 9. There, Neeson learned to fight, not for glory but for a sense of belonging. By 14, he was a youth champion, but it was during a fateful fight that everything changed. A blow to the head left him stunned, and with a sense of defeat, he walked away from the ring forever. That experience would stay with him, and the pain would never fully disappear, even as he rose above it all, leaving home and finding himself. At 17, Neeson left his small town for Belfast, determined to forge a life from the ashes of his past. He worked a series of odd jobs, from driving trucks to building walls, but his dreams were always bigger than his circumstances. He hoped for a better future, even if it meant struggling with hunger and sleeping in cold rooms. University dreams were cut short due to financial pressures, but Neeson never gave up. His gritty determination was the force that propelled him through hardship. At 24, he found work at the Lyric Players Theatre, sweeping the floors. Little did he know this small act of survival would mark the beginning of a career that would span decades. A leap of faith and the birth of an actor. Within weeks of starting his work at the Lyric Players Theatre, Neeson was cast in a small role. His quiet presence on stage resonated deeply with audiences, and it was there, amid the grime of the theater, that he discovered the power of acting. For the first time, he felt heard. With each performance, Neeson learned to channel the silence and isolation of his youth into a compelling, raw form of expression. His journey from janitor to actor was not without its struggles, but it was a struggle born from a deep sense of purpose. He was no longer a boy trapped by poverty. He was an actor, forging a path of his own. Schindler's List, a role that would change everything. In 1993, everything changed when Neeson was cast in Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List. The role of Oskar Schindler, a man who saved over 1,000 Jews during the Holocaust, was a career-defining moment for Neeson. It was a role that demanded everything of him: emotion, spirit, and, ultimately, his peace. Filming was grueling. The emotional weight of the role lingered long after the camera stopped rolling, leaving Neeson to grapple with guilt and sorrow. Despite the success and accolades, 7 Academy Award nominations, critical acclaim, fame could not fill the emptiness left by the pain of the role. Schindler's List made him a household name, but it also cast a long shadow that would follow him for years. The hidden pain may serve the fame. While Neeson's professional life flourished, the personal side of his life became marked by isolation and grief. Fame, rather than offering comfort, made him feel more alone. His health began to decline, plagued by chronic pain and sleepless nights. Yet, it was the sudden success of Taken in 2007 that would shift his trajectory yet again. The movie which was initially expected to be a simple action thriller, resonated with audiences on a deeper level. Neeson's portrayal of a father seeking to protect his daughter from kidnappers struck a chord with viewers, and Taken became a global hit, grossing over $223 million. But behind those powerful performances lay a man grieving, struggling with a loss that no fame or fortune could ever heal. A love story torn apart by fate. In 1993, Neeson met Natasha Richardson, an actress whose brilliance shone as brightly as her spirit. The two shared a bond that transcended the stage, and their love grew deeper with each passing year. Married in 1994, Neeson finally found peace with Richardson, whom he described as his home and compass. Their life together was filled with laughter, simplicity, and the joy of raising their two sons, Michelle and Daniel. However, in March of 2009, tragedy struck. Natasha Richardson, his wife of 15 years, suffered a seemingly innocuous fall while skiing near Montreal. Hours later, she was dead. Neeson rushed to her side, only to be confronted with the devastating truth. In the quiet hospital room, he sat beside her, whispering words of love as she passed away. Grief that never leaves. The loss of Natasha Richardson was a blow from which Neeson struggled to recover. In the months following her death, he admitted that part of him had died with her. Yet he continued to work, channeling his grief into his roles. Films like The Grey allowed him to confront the emotions he could not express publicly. His body, however, began to betray him. Chronic pain from a motorcycle accident in 2000, where he suffered a shattered pelvis, took its toll. Recovery was slow, and every movement became a negotiation with the pain, but Neeson never gave up. He continued to perform his own stunts, defying the physical limits of his body, as if to prove that even pain could be conquered by sheer will. The resilience of a man who endures. At 73, Neeson is not the man he once was. His body has been worn down by decades of physicality and loss, yet his spirit remains unbroken. He now lives between New York and a countryside estate that once echoed with the presence of Natasha. The home, nestled in the woods, serves as a refuge, a place where he can remember what was and honor what remains. Despite his fame and fortune, Neeson has always been grounded in simplicity. His wealth, estimated between $120 million and $145 million, came from decades of hard work, but it was never the goal. His true legacy lies in his quiet generosity, his support for humanitarian causes like UNICEF and Amnesty International, and his advocacy for refugees and children in crisis, family memory, and the passing of time. Neeson's sons, Michelle and Daniel, are now grown, each carrying forward a part of both their parents. Michelle, who works in fashion and film, chose to honor his mother by changing his surname to Richardson, a gesture Neeson quietly supports with pride. Daniel, the younger son, has chosen a path in business and design, but remains deeply connected to his father. Together they form a small but close-knit family, their bond forged not by tradition but by understanding. Neeson continues to visit Natasha's resting place, maintaining the quiet rituals that keep her memory alive. His grief, though ever present, has softened into something more manageable, a constant reminder that strength is not about invulnerability, but about quiet endurance. Legacy beyond fame. Liam Neeson's story is not just one of fame and wealth. It is a story of resilience, grief, and the enduring power of love. While his films, including over 100 roles, have cemented his place in Hollywood history, it is his humanity that resonates with fans around the world. He is not just the indestructible hero of Taken or Star Wars, but a man who has walked through unimaginable pain and emerged stronger, albeit scarred. His legacy will not be defined by the characters he portrayed, but by the strength he displayed in real life. Neeson's journey is a reminder that strength is not always loud. It is often found in the quiet moments of endurance, in the soft resilience of those who refuse to give up.